Back in 2020, during the lockdown, I was bored. I had played all my games 1,000 times on repeat and was so bored that playing video games was no more satisfying. But on March 2020, the Epic Games Store made a game free on their platform like they do every week. But this week was special, because this game became one of my favorite games and get me out of my boredom for a few days. This game is A Short Hike. A Short Hike is a short game. You can finish it in 2 hours, achieve all the objectives in 5, and the speedrun is only 2 minutes 33. But this game will last forever in your memory. You play as Claire, a young bird or penguin who is on vacation at her aunt's place, which is on an island. She needs to get a call, but there is no connection on the island except at the very top of Oak Peak. So she decides to get to the top of the mountain to get her call. And that's how A Short Hike begins. The island is an open world. You can go everywhere without restriction. It's a beautiful place with some cute animals living their best life. On the island, there is a village, a beach, a forest, an old castle, a lake, and a snowy mountain. Discovering all these places give you the feeling that you're a kid exploring during the holidays, which is amazing, especially during an epidemic. And this feeling is amplified by the graphics, which are 3D objects transformed by a filter that make them look 2D and pixelated. This look makes me remember my old DS games that I used to play as a kid. To reach the top of the mountain, you have to use your 4 abilities. You can run, climb, fly, and glide. The only problem is that they consume golden feathers when you do them, except the glide. So you start the game with no golden feathers. You can only walk and glide, and you are very limited with the area you can explore. But as you get new ones, you can go further and higher. To collect golden feathers, you have to buy them at the hiking shop, speak with the inhabitants, or simply explore. Collecting golden feathers is the core gameplay of the game, but also its best part, because it asks you to do the 2 best things in the game: exploring the island and discussing with the animals. You only need 7 feathers to climb the mountain, but you can obtain up to 20 feathers spread over the island if you finish the game completely. So yeah, that's basically it. I mean, I precise that it's a short game. It only lasts 2 hours, so you collect 7 feathers and that's it, it's the end. But even if this game is only 2 hours long, it's like the perfect 2 hours long. Everything on the map is really wonderful and you will love discovering all the little details that are spread over the island. To be honest, the fact that it's so short makes it even more precious to me. I'm tired of all those games that ask you to play them for hundreds of hours to finish them. This one at least, you are sure to finish it. You only have to start it once and you finish it 2 hours later. That's wonderful. By the way, did I mention that this game was made by only one person? In 4 months! That's crazy! And as a future game developer, that's exactly the kind of game I would love to make. A small project that you finish fast and that is purely enjoyable. Okay, enough talking about me. Let's do the top 5 reasons you should play A Short Hike. Number 5. The characters. The characters are really what makes the charm of the game. They are really cute, but also very well written. Multiple times, I found myself laughing at the dialogue between the inhabitants and Claire. For example, there is this frog that is building sandcastle on the beach. He gives you a shovel at the start of the game, and each time you go back to see him, his city of sandcastles grows. And every time you go back to see him, he tells you a story like how he lost the second round election for the mayor, or how is he preparing the Prime Minister one with his communication team. There is also the climbing group that forces you to become their new member and teaches you how to climb. And then they come with you when you start climbing the mountain, except they aren't really great. The dialogues are written like you write text stuff, so that's what makes them so funny and natural. Number 4. The fishing game. Of course, a game like that, based on relaxation and nostalgia, could not exist without a fishing minigame. This one is actually quite funny because it tried to be as representative as possible, so it is very boring. There is nothing to do while you wait for a fish to come and the characters complains about it. That's it, it's funny. Number 3. The speedrun. The speedrun any percent for the game is really impressive to watch and fun to try to do it yourself. Because the game is so short and so open, there are a lot of ways to get to the top as fast as you can. For a first speedrun experience, it's very good. Also, the game has a mini game in it that teaches you how to speedrun. Remember in Mario 64, the race against Koopa? Well, there is a similar thing in this game, except it's versus another bird, and there are different races around the island. They are very fun to play and actually quite hard. Number 2. The end. The end of the game is really great. I'm not going to spoil the reason why Claire had to climb the mountain and who she is calling, but know that the end scene is very emotional and beautiful. But the best part about the end is when the water at the top of the mountain starts boiling and you use it to fly very high. And as you glide slowly around the island, you see all the places you explored or missed. It was the perfect way they could have finished the game. But the best thing about it is that once you beat the game, additional content comes. You unlock the speedrunning minigame, a second small island to visit, and a boat race. Number 1. The beach stick ball minigame. Have you ever think that tennis is a great sport but that it could be improved? Like, for example, by switching the ball with a beach plastic ball and switching the rackets with sticks and placing all of that on the beach. Well, if you have, you will absolutely love the beach stick ball minigame. If you go all around the island, you will find those two kids playing on the beach. And if you talk to them, they will invite you to play with them to their new game they just invented. It's called the beach stick ball minigame, and the rules are simple. You just have to hit a ball with a stick on the beach. On the first look, you may think that this game sucks, and that it doesn't have any reason to be the top number 1 of the reason you play the game. But I assure you that once you start playing it, you will come back to try to beat your record again and again and again. And once you achieve to hit the ball 20 times, the kids will tell you that if you hit the ball 50 times, you get a prize. So you start practicing and play for an hour, then 2, and then when you reach the goal, they told you that you have to hit the ball 100 times. So you come back again and again. But yeah, the game is fun. To conclude, if you enjoy this kind of relaxing, nostalgic, but very short game, I can recommend you Alba: A Wildlife Adventure, Firewatch, Doom Eternal, and Lil Gato Game that just came out 2 weeks ago. So that's it for me. Peace!